ऑक्सफोर्ड प्रोग्रेसिव इंग्लिश 5 और ये इसका न्यू एडिशन है। इसमें आज हम करेंगे यूनिट 20 टेस्ट। ए, राइट द मिसिंग पार्ट ऑफ द डायलॉग। कोमल एंड नईम एंड नदीम आर टॉकिंग अबाउट देयर स्मार्टफोन्स। कोमल, हाउ लॉन्ग, यहाँ पे आएगा हैव यू हैड योर स्मार्टफोन। नदीम, आई हैव हैड इट सिंस लास्ट जनवरी। अगला है कोमल, what do you see, what do you use it for as well as a mobile? Nadeem, I use it as a camera. I take photos and send them to my family. It's also got a diary. Look, I use it so that I don't forget meetings. Komal, I think I should buy myself a more up-to-date smartphone. I have had this one for ages. B. Rewrite the following sentences using the words in brackets to give the same meaning. One है she closed the door quietly. She didn't want to wake the baby. अब ये जब ये इसको हम रीराइट करेंगे तो ये ऐसे हो जाएगा she closed the door quietly in order not to wake the baby. Second है Mama made sandwiches. She didn't want us to be hungry. तो ये होगा Mama made sandwiches so that we wouldn't be hungry. Third है where do you buy your computer games? तो ये होगा she asked me where I had या I bought my computer games. Fourth one, are you both coming to the play? I asked them if they were both coming to the play. Fifth one, if we don't leave now, we will miss the bus. Unless we leave now, we will miss the bus. C है choose the correct answer from A, B, C or D. I think that your son has, तो इसमें C आएगा lost his memory. Second one में the moon goes round the earth in an orbit, तो D, तो यहाँ पे D आएगा. थर्ड में आ जाए द गर्ल्स रैन अराउंड द गार्डन ऑन ऑल, बी आएगा फोर्स. अगला फोर्थ है अ कर्सर इज अ फ्लैशिंग लाइन ऑन अ कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन. फिफ्थ में इफ यू डोंट नो व्हाट केजी मीन्स लुक इन द एब्रीवेशंस, बी, यहाँ पे बी आएगा. अगले में आ जाए द स्पेस स्टेशन कैन गेट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी फ्रॉम सोलर पैनल्स, बी, यहाँ से बी आ जाएगा. अगला है इमरान हैज बीन ऑन द सी बेड फॉर, तो इसमें बी आएगा. अगले में आ जाए तो द, यहाँ पे आएगा सी, जीब्रा. द जीब्रा लिव्स इन अफ्रीका एंड has black and white stripes. 9 में आ जाए when you take a shower stand on a non-slip, C, यहाँ पे C आएगा non-slip mat. 10th में आ जाए तो यहाँ पे है the giraffe is not a dangerous wild animal, तो B आएगा यहाँ पे. अगला है D, read the text and answer the questions in full sentences. Which are the most important inventions? Which do you think have been the most important inventions of the past 2000 years? The printing press, the TV, the mobile, the satellite. A survey showed that these are not the only important inventions. Here are some other important ones. Paper has been one of the most important inventions. You cannot print books without paper. Paper was invented in China in 105 CE. It was made from a mixture of insects, nests, and bits of old clothes. Long before the printing press and the internet, this invention allowed us to write down information, history, stories, and our thoughts. Although people suggested many inventions in medicine, in the simplest way simplest was the toilet. This has saved more lives than all the doctors and hospitals. Before toilets, human waste ran from the people's houses through the streets and into the rivers. As a result, illness were common in big cities, and it was often difficult to find clean drinking water. Several people suggested reading glasses. The eyesight of adults starts to get worse from the age of about 45 onwards. With glasses, anybody can read, write, and do close work after the age of 45. Without glasses, only the under 45 age group would be important in the world today. Among modern inventions, the computer chip, the size of your fingernail, has changed lives the most. Early computer in the 1950s filled a whole room. The earliest mobile phones weighed 5 kilograms. Because of computer chips, humans have reached the moon and sent spaceships and space probes as far as the planets and beyond. अगला है answer these questions. So first question है which modern and old inventions did people in the survey talk about? तो इसका आंसर है they talked about the computer chip, paper, the toilet and glasses. Second है what was the date of the earliest invention that people talked about? People talked about paper, which was invented in 105 CE. Why are rivers cleaner today than before? We now have toilets and human waste doesn't run into the rivers. Fourth, what can people over 45 do now that they couldn't do before? They can read, write, and do close work. Fifth, है how do we learn from the text that computers have become smaller? Early computers filled a room, but a modern computer chip is as big as your fingernail. E है write an article for your school magazine about life in the future. Write about three of these subjects. Write a short paragraph on each one. अब वो हैं subjects में से home, school, transport, space, planet Earth. Write what you think will definitely happen, what you think will probably happen, what you think will possibly happen, what you think might not happen. Say when you think these things will happen. For example, in 25, 50, 100,000 years time. So for example, मैं home के बारे में बोल देती हूँ. In 50 years time, our home will be fully automated. It is certain that smart robots will do all the housework. From cooking to cleaning, we will probably live in greenhouses that produce all their own energy through solar panels and windows. On the other hand, I think that living entirely underwater in ocean cities might not happen, as it is more likely we will focus on improving the land we already have. So next is transport. In the next 25 years, our commute will look very different. I think that electric self-driving cars will definitely happen on global scale, making road much safer. It is also probable that we will see high-speed vacuum trains like the Hyperloop connecting major cities in minutes. However, I think that widespread flying cars over for every family might not happen because managing air traffic would be too difficult. Third has space. By the year 2100, humanity reach will extend beyond Earth. I believe that a permanent base on the moon will definitely happen for scientific reasons. It is possible that the first humans will be living in colonies on Mars by then. However, I think that traveling to another star system like Alpha might not happen in this century because the distances are simply too great for our current technology.